Hey everybody, welcome back. This is episode 9 of Lazarus, Death on Two Legs. Alright, to give a quick synopsis of the episode, in this episode, Abel, the founder of the Lazarus group, appears before a special committee, and Schneider from Army Intelligence uncovers the true purpose of the Lazarus program. Then he seeks out a phantom assassin, and the assassin, SoRyu, as he emerges as an inhuman, emotionless monster. Now, as we begin this episode, we meet a gentleman at a steakhouse who's eating a steak. In the next scene, we see this man walking down the street in a black trench coat, walking through traffic and people coming and going, and there is a lot of commotion going on, and then we see a gunman run past, and we see people collapsing as this is going on. And this is a very interesting sequence because there's no dialogue. There's music playing in the background, but you're trying to understand what's going on. But then, as the individual that we see at the steakhouse continues to walk, we see more people beginning to collapse. And then later, the gunman does as well, and then we see police show up. And then as he continues to walk, the title card shows. And soon we learn that Abel is getting ready to meet with a committee. And as we see them, next we see Chris wakes up from the incident that happened in the previous episode when they saved her from the oil rig. Soon after that, we see Doug and Axel having a conversation in the car. And while they're in the car, Doug turns off the monitor so they can have a private conversation. And they have an interesting conversation about them being expendable and what will happen after the group is disbanded. And Axel brings up the fact that they know too much information and too many of their secrets, and Doug agrees with him. In our next scene, we see a meeting at the Pentagon, and we learn that the committee is having them meet about the Lazarus group, their actions, their missions that they were on, and the sole purpose of the organization itself. And the committee tries to railroad them and talk about all the previous missions that they had throughout the previous episodes that we are witness to. Then, as a turn happens with the committee, we learn that Leland was a mole within the group, and he has a testimony in the meeting as he is being cross-examined, doing all this to hold the Lazarus group accountable for all the actions that have taken place over the last 2 or 3 weeks. And after Leland gives his testimony, Dr. Skinner makes a surprise announcement around the globe. And with his statement, he tells that they're not taking anything serious within the last few weeks of them trying to locate him. So since there's only 10 days left, he lets them know that he will be the first subject that will die within the 10 days. And during this meeting, we also see that the individual Schneider that we first meet before the meeting, he is leading the charge to try to railroad the Lazarus group. And we also do not know what his main intentions are and what this is going to lead up to. The announcement that Dr. Skinner gives, Abel gives a speech to the committee, basically summing up the exact same thing that Skinner said, but telling them that they need the Lazarus group and how important they are to find Skinner to prevent the deaths from happening and any other ramifications that will happen soon after. And after a brief conversation, the committee will allow Abel to have the Lazarus group move forward until they can find him within the 10 days. The committee. We see the individual Schneider meeting with the commander of the military, and they're trying to devise a plan to get to the Lazarus group. Next, we see Doug, Axel, and the group back at headquarters talking about Skinner, and Chris telling them about the pill that they found at Skinner's house. And while they're having the conversation, Leland is about to walk in, but he overhears them talking. But instead of him going in, he's doing more of eavesdropping. Soon after, we see the two gentlemen meeting with the individual that we meet at the beginning of the episode in the park. The individual goes by the name HQ. And HQ tells them what his hiring fee is, $30 million. But before they are willing to pay him, they want to see the person that they are hiring in action and see what they are capable of. HQ gives them their business card and tells them to meet them at a location later in the day, so they will basically see what they will be getting their money's worth. Later in the evening, they show the title card of Queen Bridge Houses. We see a task force going on a mission to infiltrate an individual in a warehouse. This warehouse, the task force runs across the assassin that HQ was talking about. The assassin single-handedly takes out the entire task force one by one. After the bloodshed and after the assassin takes out the task force, HQ comes in and he's on the phone with the colonel and with Schneider. And after seeing his handiwork and everything that he did to the task force, they hire him and they tell him who his target is. And before the episode ends, we learn that Axel is his next target. And then the episode goes off and says there's 10 days left. Now, after watching this week's episode, this was a huge improvement compared to last week's episode. This episode stayed on the task of hand, moving forward with the story and giving you a lot more information, which will have major consequences later on throughout the series. This is probably the best episode we've had. I'm not going to say of the series, but compared to early on, compared to everything that's been going on, this is the best episode so far. With the new characters that they have introduced within this episode, especially with the Colonel and with Schneider, and trying to understand why they're trying to get rid of the Lazarus program, and also trying to understand what is their angle with Axel. And maybe we will learn more about his backstory and why he's so important. Seeing the curveball that they threw with Leland being the mole within the group, but also not being a detriment to the group. And also learning about his relationship with the founder of the Lazarus group, Abel. And with the mysterious individual HQ, and with the assassin that they show off at the end of the episode was something else. The warehouse scene takes the cake for all the action scenes combined throughout the series so far. With the level of intensity, violence, and the precision of the assassin was a combination like we've never seen before in the series. Because seeing Axel and his acrobatics is one thing, but seeing basically a evil doppelganger version of himself with a weapon was something different and unique to see. And I'm really excited to see what's going to happen when those two individuals meet up, especially to see how the choreography is going to be and the art style will be. But like I said, overall, I love this episode. This was a great makeup compared to last week's episode. And with it just only being a few episodes left, I hope they can finish out strong, and hope the rest of the episodes can be on this level of consistency. I just only wish that there were more than the 13 episodes left, because this episode is really opening the doors in the universe of Lazarus. And let me know how you guys think about this episode and how you guys feel about this episode. If you liked it, you disliked it, if you have the same enthusiasm as me about this episode, let me know. And once again, thank you guys for tuning in to the Lazarus review. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. And if you did like this review, you can go on the channel to look at the other reviews for the previous episodes, and not just for Lazarus, but we also have the latest reviews and trailer reactions for movies, television, and other things within the industry of film. And if you like what we're doing on the channel, just hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so you can stay up to date with not just, like I said, the Lazarus reviews, but all of our reviews, news, and information that we're going to be sharing on this channel. Once again, thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you guys next week on next week's review of Lazarus.